Fuck, I just broke some shit. What's up guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long time, like a really long time. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Go ahead and hit that little subscribe button and then hit the bell icon as well if you think you would enjoy watching my bullet journal videos that I will come out with monthly, I promise. And then I'll throw in some random Color Street ones too, just for fun. And I'm having major flashbacks right now with this shirt. I think I even wore the same shirt for my last October Plan With Me.
I really want to do a Harry Potter theme, but I just don't quite think my skills are up there yet. So maybe this time next year I will give it a shot, but really want to get confident with my skills first because I just don't quite think I'm there yet.
As you guys know, I didn't have an October Plan With Me for the first time ever. I actually missed a Plan With Me, but I just knew that if I didn't do it that way, I was just never gonna catch up ever. I was just gonna constantly be behind. So I just scrapped the whole month of October. I actually didn't scrap it. I just moved it on over to November, which is why I'm rocking the solemnly swear that I'm up to no good shirt. And of course, I voted because it's election day today and I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that. Nope. I got a couple fun Harry Potter manis to show you guys, but what I'm really excited is for this monthly setup. So the way I'm going to do my monthlies every time I do a Plan With Me now is I am planning the entire month at once. I used to think that it was better to not do that because then you kind of take away the fun of bullet journaling by leaving yourself nothing to look forward to, but I just don't have time for that shit anymore. So now when I do it, I plan the entire month in advance. So you guys are going to be seeing my whole monthly set, the cover page, the month at a glance, and all 4 weeklies. So I'm really excited to just get on into it. So here it is.
I had a harder time than I would like to admit finding a Harry Potter mani. I tried to put the Deathly Hallows on this one. Oh, I love that. I love the glow in the dark. This is Boo Crew. It's from the Halloween collection. And I actually did another Slytherin inspired mani that you guys are going to see when we get to the Slytherin weekly. And real quick, I wanted to show you guys my friend setup. I didn't get very far with it. I didn't even use my brain dump page, which is really weird. Only filled out about half my habits in 1 weekly spread, but that's what I had time to do. And that's again why I'm kind of just had to skip a month just to sort of catch up. And hopefully now things will be moving a lot smoother. So on the cover, I'm just doing one word. Now this isn't actually a Taylor Swift quote, but she does have a lot of songs with the word always in there, so I figured it works. Obviously, this is from the movie. This is that famous thing that Snape says. I don't want to give it away to anybody that hasn't seen it. I mean, I don't know who hasn't seen it, if you're living under a rock or what, but get on that. Finally got to bust out my pearlescent gold watercolors. I was really excited, and I didn't even really plan to. I just kind of sort of messed up with my gold pen, and then this sort of happened. It was like a happy accident. Covered over it with the watercolors instead, and I just love the way it came out. That gold is just such a bright color. It's just gorgeous. Goes on paper so well. Really impressed with the quality of those watercolors. And I gotta say though, my Sakura Koi that I'm using right here, these are holding up surprisingly well. I heard not great things about them, that they're pretty cheaply made, but I've had no problems. I've had them for well over a year now, and they still are trucking on. Alright, so moving on over here, I just did the word November in the famous Harry Potter font, and I really got this inspiration from another picture that I found on Pinterest. I will leave all my links for anybody that inspired me down in the description, because I just like to give credit where credit's due. I didn't exactly steal the idea, because I did add my own little touches to it. I added my own lettering, and I decided to watercolor Hogwarts inside of his glasses to kind of give it a fun little extra touch. And I'm not really going to be using watercolors throughout the rest of the spread, but I really wanted to do it for the cover, and just the deer and Hogwarts. It's really just what I had been imagining, but I just know that if I like pressured myself to do watercolors in like every single weekly and everything for this month, that I just would have felt too much pressure, that it was going to take too long, and then I would never get it done. So again, I'm just really trying to be realistic with my timing and the things that I have time to do. So moving along, this is my month at a glance, just a quick 1-page month at a glance, and then my brain dump page. But I'm calling it my brain brew, just like I did last October for my witchy theme, because I just don't like the word brain dump. I just don't like the phrase. It just sounds gross. So
pretty much just try to avoid using it. All right, so for the month at a glance, I really wanted this to look like that map when he finds Tom Riddle's diary from the Half-Blood Prince movie, and it's got that really cool like old-timey feeling of like an old map, like the paper's ripped and it's like a faded brown color. I don't know, I just think that looks really cool, gives it a little something something. Just absolutely love it. And then again, added my Harry Potter, I don't know why I have to say that in a British accent, it just comes out that way, font at the top. And then I've got a spot for important dates and my social media tracker there down at the bottom, and then it's sort of separated by a cute little lightning bolt to represent Harry Potter, of course. Now I'm actually not doing any trackers, not doing a habit tracker or a mood tracker, because I just haven't been keeping up with them, so what is the point, right? Instead, I am deciding to focus all my energy on my weeklies, and they are going to represent the 4 different houses. So first we're going with Gryffindor.
So I recently discovered that not like everybody in the world likes Harry Potter. I know, it's like hard to believe. It's hard for me to believe too, but I actually met somebody who did not like Harry Potter recently. So I'm gonna just break this down just in case anybody out there doesn't know anything about it. In Harry Potter, there are 4 houses. Each house has their own certain qualities that they possess, and they all have their own certain color schemes. Like, for instance, this is Gryffindor. This would be my house, and the colors are like a deep red, maroon, burgundy type of color, and gold. And I've also thrown in a lot of like little things that you wouldn't really notice unless you were a Potterhead. Like, I threw in all of the Horcruxes from every single house. I just like to be extra and add little fun stuff in there like that. I have the sorting hat, which decides which house you go into. I have the little letter to Hogwarts. And then I'm also going to have each house's animal on each spread. Now, this is like a layout that I've done many different times, where I just sort of leave a space blank in the middle and then just do my days of the week around that. And when I get to my next weekly spread, I'm just going to sort of reverse it and do my doodling on the outside and the planning on the inside. And then when I go to the next week, we'll go back to the first format, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. And now we're on to Hufflepuff, which of course the colors are yellow and gray, or yellow and black. They are famous for their plants, you know, they're very good at botany and things like that. So I threw in a few like succulents and grass and here and there. Their animal is a hedgehog, warthog, why can't I think of it? It's like a wombat. Why can't I think of it all of a sudden? Badger. It's a badger. And I seriously had to look up how to draw a badger, and I still don't think I did a very good job, but that's okay. Literally built my entire brand off not being perfect, and I love that. So it's okay. I mean, what would you guys even do if I like didn't make mistakes? What fun would that be? This is the house I definitely had the most trouble with as far as like finding like good imagery, because
when you look at like the things that they're famous for, like their house and the traits, it's all things that are like really hard to draw. Like they're, you know, good furniture makers, which is, you know, the why I put a chair there, and they're really close to the kitchen, so they love food, so that's why I put a little piece of cake. Like just little things like that. It was really hard to kind of come up with all these little doodles, so I don't love it. I think this is probably my least favorite out of all the weeklies, but I also don't hate it. It could be a lot worse, so we'll ride it out. All right, weekly number 3, same format as I did with week 1 and Gryffindor, with the design in the middle. And Slytherin is so fun. I don't know. They're like the most hated, definitely. They're like the evil a-holes. Everyone calls them cunning. Like they'll, you know, do anything to get what they want, etc., etc. Oh, but first, we interrupt this to show you my awesome Slytherin manicure, because this video did take a while, so I had to actually do 2. But I love this one. I love this one better than the first one, my Halloween one. This is so fun. I got 3 different sets on there: Snake My Day, Hiss and Makeup, and Midnight in Manhattan. I just love their little puns. So cute. But right back into it. All right, so Slytherin's animals, obviously the snake. They are, you know, because they're very sneaky, and that is also the house that Voldemort came from, etc., etc. I'm not going to get into the whole thing of how Harry Potter, it's a very long story, clearly. Sort of wanted you guys to like appreciate the time and like the little details that went into it. I definitely thought about every little doodle that I put on there, all the Horcruxes, all the animals, like their little, you know, emblems and their flags and their scarves and their colors and all their different properties. Just so many little things. This is from Mordor's map. Obviously I say that to like everybody knows Harry Potter, but everybody doesn't. There's just so many things I could go on and on. I don't need to explain it all. You guys kind of get the gist, so I'll just sit back and let you enjoy. Okay, that brings us to the end of Slytherin. That was like definitely one of my favorite ones. I think that and Gryffindor were my favorite. Well, then this one too. Now we're at Ravenclaw. Really the only one I didn't like was Hufflepuff, because I just hate yellow and black. Just ugh, like a bumblebee. Anyways, this is Ravenclaw. This one is so much fun. This one came out really, really good. This is probably up there, like right up there with my Gryffindor one. As I was looking at the imagery for this, the ravens were like really intimidating to me. Like really did not think I was going to be able to draw them whatsoever, especially the one on the right that I attempted with the raven holding its wings out like it is on the big. You'll see when we get there, but they actually both came out really, really good. I especially love this one here with the raven, and it's wrapped in the sweater with the colors, and I love blues. I'm like, blues are just like my favorite, so this definitely came out much better than expected. I didn't think I could draw, but turns out I can draw a little bit, y'all. Getting better every day. And it's really funny because I remember my plan with me this time last year. I had talked about wanting to do a Harry Potter theme one day, but I just didn't think that my skills were quite up there yet, and that I was hoping, you know, that by the time this year they would be. And then look at, here we are. So I gotta say I'm very proud of myself and how I've progressed along this journey, and definitely had some ups and downs and bumps along the way, but I am just really proud of myself. I'm just constantly growing and learning and wanting to do better, and that's all you can ever really do. slowed this part down right here for you guys. I don't know who was around in July, if anybody, but I did a similar little thing that I'm doing right here. I did a watercolor crystal theme, and I really wanted to incorporate that into Ravenclaw, since crystals are like very prevalent when you look at any sort of like Ravenclaw aesthetic. I always saw like the blue crystals, and I'm like, hey, I can do that. So I'm like, you know what, let me bust out them watercolors one more time. And I think it just really brings the whole page together, and I think that's why this ended up being one of my favorites. And of course, one of the things I forget to do a lot is erase my pencil shavings after I go in with the pen. So I'm like trying to be better about that. So just kind of erasing everything and outlining everything, and that's it. So let's do the final flip through. My cover, my month at a glance, and my brain dump, or brain brew as I like to call it, page. My first weekly, my Gryffindor weekly. My second Hufflepuff weekly. My third Slytherin weekly. And then my last but not least, Ravenclaw. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Thanks for sticking by me, even though I'm like such a friggin' flake and never on time. But I am going to be on time. I'm going to at least have my one monthly plan with me every month, and then a few color streak vids in between. So I love you guys for sticking by my side, and I'll see you next time. Bye.